Iowa City West Side Story presents Behind the Cover. Hello, I'm Erinn Varga, a designer and artist for West Side Stories print. The April 20th, 2023 cycle covered a range of topics on artificial intelligence, our cover being Let's Chat GPT. I specifically designed this 6-page story with a cover page as well. I did all the art, and I mean all the art, through Procreate and Illustrator. This is Behind the Cover, Let's Chat GPT. When our assignments came out for the cycle, I was assigned to design cover with my 3 writers, Mardani, Maya, and Heidi. Amazing writers, did amazing on the article as well. And while they went off to find all their interviews, I collected a bunch of inspo. Round 0 includes rough outlines, photos, color palettes, and palettes that we plan to implement to our design. I and most of the other designers mainly use Pinterest to find our inspiration. I sort mine into boards, and this is the inspo that I used for cover. Starting out, I used Blender to model out my plane of clutter. Blender is a 3D modeling software that is extremely difficult to use. It took me hours to model these simple shapes out. However, I seemed to work harder and not smarter, but in the end I was able to get the perspective and lighting I wanted. Then I started sketching out the objects, details, lights, and more until line art and base colors were semi-there. This is where we submit whatever we have for round 1 as our first check-in for designers to get reviews and ideas for our designs. Usually round 1 is pretty bare bones for art, as the design itself is usually just being framed together. However, the front cover is glossy or a different material than the internal pages and has to be exported earlier. So I had the cover more sketched out than the other art pieces. However, it is nowhere close to the end product, as the amount of times you revise the cover is no joke. By the way, this video is more pixely than the others because I copied the doc to redo the line art again for round 2, and the canvas is a bigger size/quality, making the video harder to export in detail. During round 2, a lot more of the art is finalized, including where the title and what we call the blurb is. This is where I finally have a certain piece of work I'm semi-happy with. It's not there yet, but it's more than what I began with. This round was going to be my final design before I talked to my design editor, Scylla, who gave me a few tips because it still didn't feel right to me. I ended up repositioning everything again, decluttering and enlarging subjects of focus, and making it more of a clear statement of what I wanted to do with my art, with the robot, computer, and eventual title. Proofs are the last check-in with the entire team before getting peer reviews and exporting. These are my final touch-ups before lining it up in InDesign and making any final edits. Now I'm filling in the base colors, lighting and shadows, and final touches such as line thickness and a modified version of the ChatGPT logo. And that is it. I redo this all again, which I know is inefficient, but I'm outlining and making sure that all my lines are correct and shaped correctly, and I'm adding flat colors in to make sure that I have what I want and it's filled correctly. I end up doing some of the little more details in the end, as well as having the light and shading at the end. And at that point, I drop this into InDesign, change the image from an RGB value to a CMYK value, or basically desaturate the colors to be able to print, and add the final text elements for the front cover of West Side Story.